What's going on with Diogo Jota? The Liverpool and Portugal star is making headlines, and fans are worried after recent developments raised serious questions about his future. Meanwhile, in Spain, Barcelona are still pushing for Nico Williams, but they're reportedly not ready to pay his release clause just yet. However, Joan Laporta is in direct talks with the player's agent, meaning the deal could still be alive. And now, Barca legend Rivaldo has spoken out about the move, giving his honest verdict on whether Nico is the right fit for the club. In the early hours of Thursday, Diogo Jota, forward for Liverpool FC and the Portuguese national team, and his younger brother, died in a car accident in northwestern Spain. At just 28 years old, Jota was enjoying some of the best moments of his career and personal life. He won the UEFA Nations League with Portugal, the Premier League with Liverpool, and he recently married his childhood sweetheart. The tragedy has left a deep void in the football world, which is still trying to come to terms with the loss. What caused the car crash? The two were traveling in a Lamborghini Urus SUV, which, according to reports, suffered a tire blowout just after midnight while overtaking another vehicle on the A52 highway, at kilometer 65.300, near the town of Cernadilla, Zamora, just 15 kilometers from the Portugal border. The car veered off the road, crashed, and instantly caught fire. By the time firefighters arrived at the crash scene, the vehicle was completely burned out. The charred remains of the two footballers could only be identified through their identification papers. Why was Jota driving back to England? Jota was traveling by car to catch a ferry from the Spanish port of Santander back to northern England after being advised not to fly as a result of a previous lung surgery, according to multiple media reports in Portugal and Spain. It doesn't make sense. We were only just in the national team together, you had only just got married, Ronaldo posted on the social media platform X. To your family, your wife and your children, I send my condolences and wish them all the strength in the world. I know you'll always be with them. Rest in peace, Diogo and Andre. We'll all miss you. Who was traveling with Jota? His brother Andre Silva, his only sibling. Though less known internationally, Silva, 25, was also a professional footballer. He played for Futebol Clube Penafiel in Portugal's second division and was previously part of FC Porto's youth academy. What family does Jota leave behind? A wife and 3 children. Ruth Cardoso has suddenly and painfully become the widow of Diogo Jota, less than 2 weeks after they were married at a ceremony in his home city of Porto on June 22. Barcelona unlikely to be pay Nico Williams' release clause tomorrow. Laporta in contact with agent. Nico Williams continues to be at the center of the transfer speculation surrounding FC Barcelona. The 22-year-old winger has made it clear that he wishes to join the Blaugrana, who are also keen on securing his services after missing out last summer. In fact, reports earlier this week went as far as suggesting that Barcelona planned to pay Nico's €62 million release clause on Friday so as to complete the transfer before he has to return to training at Athletic Club. Payment unlikely tomorrow. However, according to Gerard Romero on Gigantes, as things stand, it is unlikely that Barcelona will pay Nico's €62 million release clause tomorrow. Romero expressed great optimism about the signing earlier this week, stating that he gives the operation a 150% chance of being completed. However, as things stand, there still remain some minor differences between the player's agent, Felix Tinta, and Barca with regard to the guarantees of the winger's registration. And until that is resolved, things might not move forward. To that end, Romero reports that Barcelona president Joan Laporta has had direct contact with Tinta to address the situation. As far as the mood in the Barcelona camp is concerned, they are calm and relaxed as they believe that Nico's desire to join the club will outweigh his agent's insistence on the registration guarantees. Romero reiterates that the contract agreement remains in place and everything is set up for the operation to go through. As such, optimism continues to persist within the Barcelona offices. As reported previously, there remain some in the Barca offices who prefer Luis Diaz over Nico. The Liverpool winger has rejected an approach from Bayern Munich, hoping that the Catalans will come calling. But as things stand, Barcelona remain focused on Nico and are calm about the situation. However, his release clause is unlikely to be paid on Friday as previously suggested. Rivaldo gives his verdict on Barcelona's pursuit of Athletic Club star Nico Williams. Barcelona and Brazil legend Rivaldo thinks that Nico Williams would be a great signing for the club if they can bring in the Spain star from Athletic Club. The Catalans are expected to try and activate his release clause shortly and hope to seal a deal before Williams is due back for pre-season with Athletic. Rivaldo thinks that Williams will boost Barcelona's chances of winning the Champions League if they can get the deal done. If the signing is confirmed, it will be very good. I think Barca's squad this season already had a lot of quality, but when a player of this level arrives, the chances of winning everything increase even more, especially the Champions League, which is Barcelona's big goal, he said via Sport. We are going to hope that he really arrives at the team next season. Williams is said to be eager to join Barcelona this summer, despite interest from Bayern, with the Catalans reportedly currently trying to find a way to ensure he can be registered for the 2025-26 season. So here's where we stand. Concern continues to grow around Diogo Jota, and we'll be watching closely for updates on his condition or situation. As for Nico Williams, Barcelona's financial caution may delay the deal, but with Laporta involved directly, anything can happen fast. And Rivaldo's endorsement? That adds even more fuel to the fire that this could be a move worth making. What do you think? Should Barca go all in for Nico? And what's your take on what's happening with Jota? Leave a comment, hit the like button if you found this useful, and don't forget to subscribe for more breaking football updates. Barcelona's next big star might already be in the making. Director of Football Deco has reportedly lined up the club's next wonder kid, following the Rooney Bargy pursuit, and fans are buzzing about the name on his list. Even more exciting, new manager Hansi Flick is said to be fully convinced that one young Barcelona talent will become one of the best midfielders in the world. Who is this rising gem? What's Deco's long-term vision? And how does Flick plan to develop this talent into a global superstar? Let's break it all down right now. Barcelona are no longer confident about their chances of signing Nico Williams for Athletic Club. Since the Basque winger expressed a desire to move to the Blaugrana, they have appeared confident that this summer the signing would go through. This comes after a lengthy pursuit of Williams last summer, but in that case, it was Barcelona persuading him to leave Athletic. This time, Williams has actively pursued the move, and the Catalan giants were on course to pay his €58 million release clause. However, agent Felix Tinta has asked for guarantees that Barcelona can register Williams, something that has stalled the deal. Barcelona losing faith in Williams' signing. Barcelona have sought to assure Williams and Tinta they can get the deal done and register him later in the summer, but Marca now say that they are not so sure that the deal will go through. Several days ago there was optimism in the Catalan capital, but that has dissipated somewhat. The Blaugrana remain over their salary limit, and must pay Athletic his €60 million release clause, before registering Williams' salary too. Both parties are seeking a solution, but so far, none have appeared on the horizon. There are voices from within Barcelona that believe that the move will collapse. Time is ticking down until Athletic return to pre-season training on the 9th of July, and all parties want the matter resolved one way or another before that occurs. Bayern Munich on the back burner. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich have made a strong play for Williams' services too, and amid the delays with Barcelona, came back with a reported €12 million per annum salary offer for Williams, and a guarantee of paying the clause. Sports say that Williams has rejected talks with Bayern until negotiations with Barcelona are resolved, a move to Camp Nou being his priority. Same alternatives for Bayern and Barcelona. Things could get very interesting in the transfer race, as both Bayern Munich and Barcelona are eyeing the same backup options to Nico Williams. Luis Diaz is reportedly next on the list for both clubs, but Liverpool's €80 to €85 million valuation makes negotiations difficult. That's where Marcus Rashford comes into play. With Manchester United potentially open to offers, Rashford is seen as a cut-price alternative, and if Bayern make the first move, it could seriously shake up Barcelona's transfer strategy. Flick firmly believes that a young Barcelona talent has the potential to become one of the top midfielders in world football. An insight into the faith of Barcelona head coach Hansi Flick in the talents of youngster Marc Bernal has this week been forthcoming online. Midfielder Bernal is for his part of course in the midst of something of a whirlwind 12 months in Catalonia's capital. Almost out of the blue at the beginning of last season, the 18-year-old was cast into the spotlight, after establishing himself as first choice in the Barcelona engine room. Just as quickly as his explosion onto the scene came about, however, Bernal was struck down in cruel fashion. As much came by way of an ACL tear back in August of 2024. Bernal is now in the final stages of his recovery, eyeing a return to the pitch early in the 2025-26 campaign. And as alluded to above, if the latest word stemming from the media is anything to go by, then one individual who maintains full faith in the Spanish starlet is manager Hansi Flick. As per a report from Sport, Hansi Flick is eagerly awaiting the return of Marc Bernal, a player he is convinced can become one of the best midfielders in the world. Barcelona have made it club policy to pursue some of the best emerging teenage talents from around Europe and beyond since director of football Deco took power. The next in line looks to be Copenhagen forward Rooney Bargi, but another of Scandinavia's emerging crop has also caught Deco's eye. The latest is that a deal has been agreed with Copenhagen for Bargi to join Barcelona this summer, and he will then start pre-season under Hansi Flick before a decision is made on his immediate future. He could either remain at the club and play with Barca Athletic or go out on loan. This follows on from an attempt to sign Portuguese teenager Cardoso Varela. The next on the agenda, say Sport, is Mikkel Bro Hansen. Mikkel Bro Hansen excited by Barcelona links. Bro Hansen, 16, has caught the eye for Bodo/Glimt in his first appearances with the senior side. Making his league debut in early May, Bro Hansen has scored 6 goals and given 2 assists in his 3 Norwegian Cup appearances for Bodo/Glimt. Asked about Barcelona's interest by TV2 in Norway, Bro Hansen had the following to say. "It's incredible, but I know how to handle this pressure. I'm motivated by the fact that there are people who trust me and believe in my abilities." The Catalan dailies say that a deal is not as close with Bodo/Glimt, but that were he to join, the plan would be for him to remain with Barca Athletic. Who is Bro Hansen? Making headlines early on in his career, Bro Hansen tends to play through the middle as a forward. He made his debut at 15, and was previously at Aarhus in his native Denmark before a switch to Bodo/Glimt. For Denmark's under-16s, Bro Hansen has 3 goals in his 8 appearances. With Deco identifying top youth talent and Flick placing full faith in the club's next midfield star, Barcelona's future looks incredibly promising. The belief within the club is clear. This isn't just about potential, it's about building the next great era at Camp Nou. Do you think this youngster can live up to the hype? And will Barca's focus on young talent finally pay off under Flick's leadership? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're excited about the future, and make sure to subscribe for more exclusive Barca updates every week.